Several years back, two really good friends and I, we went hiking and backpacking up on Manitou Island, North Manitou Island, up off of the Sleeping Bear Dunes in northern Michigan. And it was about this time of year, early May, and we were super excited for this weekend, 3 days. But when we got there, it was cold and rainy, and we had a ferry ride that's a couple hours over there, and it was just miserable. And it was hard for us to see what possible good could be coming. For those of you who hike and backpack, the rain is not an ideal situation for this. And that whole first day, we had 8 to 10 miles of hiking before we wanted to get to about where we wanted to camp. We hiked and we hiked, and it was cold and rainy. There were even times on our hike where we were praying aloud together, God, would you please stop the rain? God, we believe you have good for us on this trip. Would you bring the sun out? Now, eventually the sun did come out, right about the time we were camping, and we were on this beautiful bluff overlooking Lake Michigan, looking west towards the sunset. And we set up camp, we were getting ready to cook, and I lit our little propane stove, and the whole thing was suddenly engulfed in flame. There was a leak, or it was cross-threaded, something, but it was bad. There was fire. We were able to get the fire out, but after we had the relief and the laughter of, oh my goodness, what almost happened, we realized that the rain was a gift that day. That God knew what was going to happen later today. And I'm not trying to reduce it to just that, but it made me think of this verse from our reading plan this week in Romans chapter 8. It says in Romans 8, verse 28, we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love him, who have been called according to his purpose. Now, I don't want to just reduce it to sometimes it's raining because you're about to light things on fire, but there is a bigger plan that God is working in our lives. And sometimes we have to walk through the rain. Sometimes we have to take that trip through the rain longer than we want because God is working something out for our good later on. And it's not always easy. So for you today, what is that thing where it feels like you're walking in the rain? You want the rain to end. You just want relief and shelter and a dry place to sit and enjoy the sun. Take heart. Know that God is working this out for your good. It might take a little while, but what would it look like to trust and to keep going on, to stay connected with him today, knowing that God is working this out for your good, a greater good than even you could imagine.